is Black Wall Street family. This is Rachel Johnson coming to you from Friar Point, Mississippi. And we are here with the Chief of Police, Chief T. Vance, of this community. We've previously interviewed his officers, and we were so impressed with what he had to say. And if you've seen the videos, you already know we could not leave and not speak to him. So thank you, Chief Vance. We appreciate your time. We want to just fill you in on the fact that when we spoke with your officers, we asked them why and how, what is your method of operation? And as you will see, the young men said, we were taught to community police, to be involved. He talked about you all have a ball game that the officers participate in. You're in the community, hands on, feet, shoes, boots on the ground every day. So that means you have established a rapport with the people in this community.
That's correct.
Yes. So take it from there.
Well, our standards on that, if you got better communication with the general public, it could curtail a lot of violence from occurring before it acts. So what we try to do in Friars Point is have a strong leadership communication with the parents, the kids, grandkids, our pastors. I attend churches, encourage the officers to attend churches, speak at churches, so you can build a better rapport with your community to keep down violence. If you got violence going on, you suspect it, go and talk to the parents and grandparents, let them know the consequences of your kids' action, if they're involved in anything or not. So when they do get arrested, the parents won't be so shocked or surprised. I ain't know that about my kid, I ain't know about my kid. Because when it come down, me laying the law down, I'm gonna lay it down.
That's right.
You know, and that's the way it is. And I teach my officers to treat everyone fairly, regardless of what color, creed.
That's right.
You know, it don't matter who he is. You know, treat him like he's supposed to be treated, and then you will gain more respect from the general public. You can't be out there beating up people, shooting people because you have the badge and authority to give you to take a life. You know, that's somebody's child. You know, he might not be a nobody to you, but he's a somebody to me as a chief. And you violate any law, I'm gonna deal with you directly. I don't need mayor interfering with my duties as a chief of police. I'm gonna deal with you directly.
Right.
If I have to put you in jail myself, I'm gonna deal with you. And I just think throughout this country, we don't have enough chiefs speaking out the truth about their department. And you know, as a chief, you need to know what type of officer you got working for you also.
Right.
And you can learn that from other officers will tell you what type of officer you got. Do you abuse his powers or misuse people? And those officers need to be dismissed or they need to be put in jail like anyone else. You need to do that, you know? And you have to let the general public know you are willing to do that. If you're not willing to do that, there's no place being a leader and call yourself as chief if you're not going to speak out for what's right.
That's right.
And I brought up just speak out for what's right. Everything else will fall in place. But you know, we as a community, when we got away from church and when we got away from putting God in first in our life, so a lot of these things happen because we've not been taught. So as leaders in the community, I try to get around to everybody and talk to everybody. You know, every citizen in this town has my cell phone number. They can call me 24 hours a day. I'm gonna respond. If I don't come see you, I'm gonna call you. If I call you, it means I can't get to you. But I'm gonna get to you. I have a secretary that will take my message, and I'm gonna get her back around to talk to you to see if you're a problem. It might not even be never deal with police. It could be somebody's neighbor's dog. But if it's a concern to you, it's a concern to me.
Right.
And that's what I try to pull out in the community.
Wow.
And I monitor my officer. I check behind them. I don't let them know I'm checking behind them. I check behind them. If something going wrong shouldn't go that way, he's going to be dealt with directly with me. So, you know, they have a lot of respect for me, and I have a lot of respect for them. But that's a bond issue that it didn't build overnight. It took time to build that rapport. And when I'm interviewing the officer and hiring an officer, I want to know his background. I want to know, do he go to church, what he believes in. It means a lot to me, how you going to treat people behind my back.
Right.
Can I trust you?
Right.
And we are dealing with law enforcement now throughout this country not being trustworthy. Cameras are catching officers violating the law. Where if you catch them violating the law needs to handle that. If the law handled that, you wouldn't have riots.
Right.
And burning our cities down,
Right.
costing taxpayer dollars. It got to be replaced.
That's right.
And that coming out of taxpayer dollars. When the government enforce a state emergency, taxpayers lose.
That's right.
On that issue. So, that's my take on that. Stand firm and believe in what you do. And if you got a problem with your department, straighten it up. You don't, the federal government is going to come and straighten it up, and they don't know who is who, and more violence could occur because regardless of how many gang members or violent people we have out here, we got a president that can just declare war on people. That's the authority he has. The chief of police can call other chief of police, say, I need certain amount of officers. They're gonna respond. So that's not gonna stop them. You create more problem, more death for the community. So we have to have an ending point. And to the young people in Baltimore, violence is not the answer.
Right.
It's not the answer.
Right.
Burning cities down, watching on the news, a nursing home were caught on fire by looting. That's not the way to go.
Right.
Let's wait and see if justice gonna prevail for this victim.
Right.
It's about him.
Right.
It doesn't matter what name he has. If he had a small name, but the community would turn into a big name.
Right.
So a lot of times, a lot of people think the little thing get left out. No, somebody is somebody to everybody.
That's right.
And people need to start respecting each other.
Yes.
Respecting each other's rights.
Yes.
And that's just my point issue on it. I just hope it don't happen in my community. But I always have to prepare myself when I watch television to see what's going on around the world.
Right.
And stay firm to stay up on top of things in my community. Because even just a little small town here, about 1,450 people, people's talking about Baltimore.
Right.
And I tell the people it can happen anywhere.
Right.
A riot can break out and happen anywhere.
Right.
So we have to educate our kids. This is not the right thing to do.
Well, one thing, Chief Vance, that I truly appreciate about all the things that you have said, that type of thing won't happen in your community because you are holding your officers accountable.
Yes.
And not only do you hold them accountable personally,
Yes.
as officers, they have taken a oath of office. And what it sounds like to me is that you understand the oath of office that you took, and you will uphold the Constitution regardless.
Yes,
and that's all that we're asking for. This officer that is in charge is a black man who said it doesn't matter what your color is. Crime is crime. You break the law, we're going to deal with you. However, you're not going to get murdered in Friars Point, Mississippi by a police. You are responsible for your actions as a member of this community. And what it sounds like that Chief Vance is saying, he's a part of the community. So he puts his whole body and soul into it so they know that it isn't just a man in a uniform.
That's correct.
You feel them.
Yes.
So, sir, thank you so much.
Thank y'all for being here.
We appreciate you. We thank God for you. We know that it's the Spirit of the Most High that resides in you that has been transferred to your officers. You are one of the remnant that the Father has called out.
Yes.
And we're grateful, and we're here to support everything that you're doing.